We're back. It's episode 303. This just in, work blows.
It sucks.
Newsflash. So.
We're back with you'll figure out what happened. Dang. We're all over the place. But yeah, we caught up a lot on some cool stuff, and there's some fun pedals to talk about and some fun things to talk about.
Some nonsense. Yeah.
Some nonsense. Lots of nonsense. So, welcome back. Pew, pew.
See you on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
Man, I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You don't know? What do you think?
I don't need to know, all right? You know, that's the thing.
Is it 350?
Shit.
No, it's not 350.
Is it what?
This is episode 350.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
they're
303.
It's 303.
Oh.
Guys, okay. Listen, I know we've been gone a minute, but a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
Surprise things happened, and I announced some of it, and then we ended up taking a fucking break anyway, because then more shit happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you want to do here? Sorry, I'm trying to find something in my system settings, because I have a new computer now. One of the many things that happened, and all my little shortcutty bits that I've had that I realize now I've used my entire life are not here yet.
It's like, oh God, this thing that seemed inconsequential before.
Anyway, I'm back. Hi.
Yes, yeah. I did announce on the podcast feed, in case anyone who listens is not in Discord, that Derek's family grew a little earlier than planned.
Yeah.
And that's all's well, right?
Yeah, so I can just tell this whole story now, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, this is, so, I didn't want to just take your whole thunder.
So here we are. I have a 1-month-old now. The 2 days after my now 1-month-old's expected due date.
Right.
So our youngest, I can say now, Lucas, was born on October 2nd with a due date of November 1st. So here's the thing that happened, and I dropped this in Discord, but to recap, Beth was 35 weeks pregnant in 5 days, and had a day of low activity, kind of low baby motion, low kicks and stuff like that. So she calls and they bring her in, and they're like, we'll hook you up to this non-stress test. We're going to do an ultrasound, do all these things. And they're I forget what it's called, but they're looking for baby to achieve a certain number of things within a certain amount of time. So a checklist of 5 or 10 things within 30 minutes. Baby was not succeeding at that. And basically what happened, to cut to the chase, the doctor just flings the door open and is like, we're delivering this baby now via C-section because it's just safer. It's safer on the outside than it is on the inside. We don't know why.
Yeah.
So we're like,
time to move.
Yeah. So went from the condensed version of this, I guess, is that we went from having a normal Thursday, just went to work, picked up Jack. I was supposed to go to see the band Elbow that night. Didn't go, of course. What are you going to do?
They understood.
And yeah, I know. They're cool about it.
They were cool about it. They didn't say anything.
I picked up Jack from daycare, and Beth was like, go pick up Jack and come to the hospital. It's like, okay, don't love that, get there. And then I find her, I catch her basically getting on the elevator. So with Jack and stuff, we're hanging out. And so we have nothing. We have no people with us.
I'm sorry. Beth did this with a doctor on her own, and you were...
Yeah, I was still at work. So this was so this was, I think she called at 2 something, went into the doctor 3:30 maybe, kind of mid-afternoon. And then Actually, what happened was she went to her OB's office, which is, in the same doctor park as the hospital. But that office was closing because it was like 4:30 or something like that. So they sent her to the hospital instead. Like, all of our techs are gone. Go to the hospital where there are techs still working and you can get a scan. So, which is across the parking lot, like not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So she walked over, and that's when like the second test confirmed, like, we got to get this baby out of here. So I show up to the hospital with Jack at 5 p.m. And at 6:38, Lucas was born. So we were like flying. Wow. It was crazy. I was like, I don't even know what to do with my other kid right now. No, but I can't bring him home. There's no family nearby that can be here within the next 90 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And just like completely take over everything. So we're making phone calls and like things are going crazy. The nurses actually volunteer to take Jack and they party with him at the nurses station, which was just a blessing wild. And a fucking blast. So like he had the best fucking time. So then, anyway, C-section was not on the list, right? Not on the bingo card, you could say. We also didn't have a name picked out. We didn't have really anything taken care of yet, including, I'm just realizing now, like my own, like, okay, here we go, newborn time. Like there's so many loose ends around the house and stuff that I was fully committed to spending the last 4 weeks doing.
Right.
I had a plan and like, I was like, we've got these things left and we're going to do them in time for the due date. It'll be perfect because that's how you plan things. And baby was just like, nah.
Yeah.
So Lucas came and then straight up to the NICU, and that was just like very terrifying and insane because they kind of don't tell you a lot by design, of course. So I'm like scrambling out of the gown and stuff like that I was in the OR in and all that stuff. Fly up to NICU. They hook him up to a little tiny CPAP machine and a sugar water mix, basically, so he doesn't have to worry about food and fuel and stuff like that. The CPAP was to provide positive pressure to his little tiny lungs because one of the tests that he had failed was practice breathing amniotic fluid. Yeah. So he wasn't doing that. And they were like, we've got a heartbeat, but there's no like motion in the lungs. Oh, I didn't even tell you. So let me cut back a little bit. So like, right, we're sitting there. I'm with Beth on, the head side of the table.
Of the barrier
like,
there?
With the barrier. And they're calling out what they're seeing and stuff like that. So they're like, all right, incision, boom, and then blah, 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 the chatty, uterine wall, boom, and they're like, confirmed. And it's like really fucking intense in this 15-minute procedure. Yeah. So Lucas comes out. First of all, they drop the pronouns. No, like he's got the cord wrapped, and we're like, it's a he.
We're like,
what?
Yeah, on the other side of the barrier,
so
he.
We're like, what? Did you say he? So I know. So we're like freaking out because again, like we did with Jack, we had waited to find out what we were having. It's really fun. It's like, you realize it quickly. It doesn't matter what you're having, but anyway, we're like, what? Did you say he? And they're like, they're kind of like waffling
wasn't
about
my
it.
primary thought there to protect your ears from that. Yeah.
But so it turns out he had the cord wrapped around his neck 3 times and then knotted once like a pretzel.
That's more times than you want to have the cord wrapped around your neck.
Yeah. So, and Jack actually had it wrapped around his neck twice as well. So I don't know, runs in the family. But with the knot, like he made that knot when he was small enough to still get out of it, It's so crazy.
That's so weird.
So that knot had been in the cord for so long. Anyway, so we go up to NICU. He's got to start breathing on his own. He's on the CPAP machine, which he came off of like the next day, which was really exciting. He was on room air the whole time, so not just an oxygen rich, but it was just like simply providing pressure to help flush amniotic fluid and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that comes off. That's feeling good. He's still got a feeding tube like up through his nose and down to his belly. And, he's technically what is it, like a late preterm baby or something like that. There's a specific term for this, like 34 weeks, 34 to 40 weeks preterm is like you're pretty much at the finish line. but there's a few things left that are not quite
Right.
up to speed.
Yeah.
And in our case, between 34 and 36 weeks is when the suck, swallow, breathe mechanism comes online for nursing. So if you think about like how you use a straw, the mechanism of you like drawing in, swallowing, and exhaling through your nose, like that's a whole thing that we just do instinctually, like from birth.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to do that.
And he wasn't up
there's
to
like
from birth yet. So
exactly. So, right. So now I'm like, how do we count this? You know, he's 1 month old, but then they're talking about like, well, when was he born? How many weeks pregnant? How many weeks of life?
right.
And you're doing all this like weird math, weird
Yeah,
time.
because there's a
saving
little bit
math.
of back counting, right? Like you kind of,
Yeah.
for a little while, they consider him a couple of days old now, right? Or something to that effect.
Right.
For certain
yeah,
measures,
so-
not like literally,
Yeah.
but for certain developmental measures, they're
Yeah.
measuring against the due date more than the birth date.
Kind of, yeah, right. It's confusing, but so anyway, every day we were in the NICU, he showed like really positive progress. So just checking boxes slowly.
Sorry,
but, you know,
Alex.
yeah.
Daylight savings just ended, so actually he's a little younger.
yeah, right.
Still.
Yeah, just a hair. See, but yeah, so he had like the jaundice thing going on, had to be under the blue lights for a while. Ooh, excuse me. And then just it was about kind of putting on weight.
Yeah.
You know, as babies do, they lose weight in the hospital, they gain it back, and so he exceeded birth weight while we were there. We were in the NICU for 10 days, and in that time we'd been discharged, so we were living a double life of days in the hospital and then leaving around 4:30 to go pick up Jack, come home, do like dinner, tubby, bedtime routine, all that stuff. Like laundry,
Yeah.
figure out what the next day was, go back in the morning. It was like just a complete shift. So Beth was off work on her maternity leave, which had started. I was just taking PTO like crazy. I'd put in for like 3 weeks at a time and just was like, I'm not here. I'm just gone. So like,
Right.
you guys can deal with it. And what's hilarious too is just the day before, maybe even the day of, I was like talking to one other person who's like unaware this was happening. And I said, hey, by the way, I'm having another baby in about a month. So we should like coordinate for my absence. And then like within 12 hours, I
Psych.
was gone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So my manager is like frantically like, so here's what happened. But anyway, I'm back to work now. And it sucks. Surprise, surprise.
This just in, work blows.
Yeah. This just in. Yeah.
But Lucas. What are where
yes.
we're landing? I mean,
Both.
it's okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna feel out and evolve, I guess. Doing good. Looks like
He's doing
looking
great.
like a
Yeah.
pretty normal kiddo to me. And
Yeah. So now we're back home. We've been home for 3.5 weeks.
yeah,
Which is weird because we had like 2 full work weeks in the hospital basically before we got home, and my parents were like coming up and stuff, and they're like asking all these questions and just like talking about what our plans are and stuff. And at the time, we'd only been home for like 48 hours, and they were kind of out of the loop on when we all got discharged versus like when Beth and I got discharged.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't have answers to any of the things you're asking because we kind of just got here. So like, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Beth is doing great, recovering well from the surgery. That's just a slow process, but
yeah.
cable management, oh my God. That's fucking brutal. So and he's putting on weight. He's just putting on pounds like crazy. So yeah, we're all
Seemed like the weight was
in
pretty.
the good direction.
I think I forget.
Yeah.
what
So
you said.
weight wise, like it wasn't. You hear premature baby and you think of these, the palm-sized humans that it's heartbreaking. But no, weight wise, he was in good shape. He was 6 pounds. 7 ounces, I think. I can't remember exactly. Like there are parts of this that just have already vanished.
That's like Arya's due date birth weight was 6'7" or 6'14" or 6'11" or something like that. Yeah. So
and
it's like, wow, that's a perfectly normal size baby. I mean,
perfectly
great
normal
job.
size. Yeah. Yeah. And they were like, we were up there like, is he the biggest baby up here? Like, what's going on? And they were like, oh no, like he's just like good. And everybody was kind of saying to Beth, like, whoa, if you had gone full term, this guy would have been enormous.
Yeah, I mean, that's the end of it, is where they really start to pick up the pace. So, yeah.
Yeah, this meme of my 3-month-old is now twice as big as he was when he was born. Right. I love this. He's now on track to weigh 7.5 trillion pounds by age 10.
I mean,
it's
logarithmic. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's like bacteria growth, right?
Right. So we're just in the newborn stuff right now, like pretty hard, and I was just kind of up at 3 a.m. this morning feeding Lucas, thinking like, well, I wish I had at least like a little more time to go like, yeah, you're going to be up at 3 a.m. That was like prep, kind of the earthquake that happened of like,
yeah.
So there was just a ton of, the whole process was like very abrupt, obviously, very scary, but we all were kind of feeling as like surprisingly positive, I think, because of what good progress he was making each day.
Mm-hmm.
So kept us feeling really good. But yeah, man, it's crazy to be in the NICU and just kind of know what that is now, I guess. And like we had a shared room, so Luke had a roommate who was, not in as good a situation as he was, and just even smaller and smaller, and the smallest humans, and just like, God, it kills. It is so heartbreaking.
Kind of astonishing that we managed to pull that off sometimes,
I know.
like,
and I'm sitting here thinking like, man, either they spun this the best way for me, or like he was in a pretty good situation to start and didn't need that much help, right?
Yeah.
Or didn't need as much help as some. And there's like a family kind of break room, kitchenette area for families to have access to. And there's just a basket of homemade, hand-knitted and crocheted hats for newborns of all sizes. And you've seen baby clothes. They're tiny, and you go like, oh my God. I'm not even kidding. I held a hat in my hand that was like, the size, I don't know, just
like a little Macintosh apple or something.
Yeah, just the smallest little pack of fruit snacks, like just a little, and I don't know, it just like forced me into some perspective and stuff. And anyway, but we're home.
Yeah, that's fun.
Good.
I saw that, you had said, sort of like, this is happening right now kind of thing. And I was like, holy crap. And I was like, that birth weight though, like that seems fine. And Marielle, who knows way more about this stuff, obviously, than me, was like, well, I mean, you got to understand, like they're in this zone
more to it, of course,
where pretty much you're okay. Like unless there's something else wrong, you're pretty much okay. And really like the things that they're just going to help him over the finish line with the lungs. And then it's like exactly what you're saying. Like, it's like, okay, cool.
I know, but I'm just
that's
thinking
great.
like, God, it's shocking and surprising to watch these professionals and stuff like in their element. And they just very calm and collected and know the answers and know like what happens next and stuff. And it's impressive and intimidating and all these things. And it was just like that. We're going to do this and then we're going to do that. And then we'll let you know. And then they come back and they say, okay, we did that. And then the other thing, and we're letting you know. And next we're going to do this. And there's just one single step.
Yep.
So for 6 or 7 of these 10 days, we had basically that small a window of knowledge, 6 to 12 hours, 24 hours maybe.
Because that's what they're basing it on. And they will make that choice then. And they're just at work.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the part I always love so much about stuff like this. People who work in emergency situations in general,
That's it. They're seeing people at their fucking worst.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we got my lunch break in an hour. Like they're living their life. And it's crazy. So anyway.
That's for sure. Well, congratulations. And
thanks.
Well done. Well done, Beth and crew. Yeah. And doctors and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that happened, and like I said, I popped on just to announce because I knew we weren't going to do a regular podcast, and I thought that would be easy and fun, and then we'd be back soon enough. And then my man Emerson got sick, and So that was, and I did say something about this on Discord too, but nothing's gone to the podcast feed. So yes, our dog Emerson, who was 13 and a half and is older than my daughter and older than my marriage.
Older than this podcast.
Yep. Although he was around for all of it.
Yeah.
He one day he got to that point. He actually was kind of sick over the weekend and he didn't want to eat. And it was starting to get more and more worrying. And I kept being like, it's one of those things, he's going to snap out of it. And it's like, or is he? And then he didn't want to come for a walk that morning and he kind of collapsed in the backyard a little later. And I now looking back, it's like one of those things where, yeah, I've had months to kind of watch the signs.
Yeah.
But, that was Friday or whatever was the day that he didn't get up from falling down. And, acutely he had infections in his pancreas and things like that were causing his digestive troubles. But like, if we'd gotten him through that, he has all these tumors that were just bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is not something he's like gonna be running down the street again.
Not going to bounce back from, yeah.
So they pain meds and stuff like that. We basically we set ourselves up with one more good day where he did feel well enough to get up, wag his tail when people would come in the door, and just kind of be with him for a while. And then we were able to have a service that comes out to the house. So I get to just have him out in the backyard, sniffing the breeze and hold him and stuff.
Yeah.
When we do that. And we've had a week and a half or something now to chew on it. So it's not as raw as it was and things are settling down.
Yeah.
But Marielle did take it really, really hard. I think it's kind of like the first loss of kind of a family member that she really cared about, which is something. It's kind of an unusual thing for somebody our age to have not really experienced, but some truly
uncharted territory for her.
Yeah,
maybe.
She really felt that, and it was interesting to go with Aria through that process too. She verbalizes every thought, and it was just you could just see, you could hear just everything that's popping through her head, and so all the roller coaster of all the things. It is so good to love something so much that you hurt this badly, this and all this stuff. Like dog people always say, and we'll do it again.
I know we will. We can't with young kids right now. But it was on our list before Lucas. So and Charlie is still very fresh in my mind. Of course, it's a couple years, nearly a couple years now. But I know exactly what you mean of that, like, I've actually been observing this for a couple of months, 6 months. And it's such a weird thing to feel because you're like, you're kind of pre-grieving, right?
I've had time to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're also like really planning and trying to be as logical and like focused on your dog's health as possible, right? So for me, I remember being like so attentive and focused on like the plan with the vet and the crew and like all of that stuff. I don't know, used it as like a barrier, I guess you could say. But anyway, dogs rule. I did have a long time to think about it and sort of plan and I knew like Marielle didn't want to be there for she wanted her last memories to be being with him happy, and that's it. She's going to go into a different space. And I was like, that's fine. I will take care of this for you. Like, I see this as my job. Like, I had in my head, I'd planned, what I'm going to do with him. And what's funny is like, when he finally, like and even to the extent of the criteria of what do we watch for in an older dog? Like when are we keeping a dog around for us and he's actually in pain? Because the predator species like that, they mask pain tremendously. They will not show it to you if they can help it, if they can at all help it. So it's like, it really is like by the time he's saying, no, I won't go on the walk, it's like, holy shit, dude, you've been hurting for a while. But you still that doesn't make you make that choice sooner.
You know, it has to be like
It sucks
It has
because
to
it's
really
like
be the end.
yeah.
You know.
To Alex's point of like, for lots of people, pets are closer than most family members. The thing that I heard or landed on at some point a while ago, excuse me, is like it's like a tragically beautiful thing that like for us, our pets are a window of time in our lives, right? It's, you know, 13 years in your case, Charlie was almost 10, that we have them. And for those 10 years, like we are a pair, we are a unit and stuff, but then, you know, they don't live as long and we get another pet someday and then a new window opens. To the pet, we are their whole fucking lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, that pet is one of the pets I will own over my life. So it's just the ratio of it is different. And that's like a lot of what led me to want to get a tattoo on my person, like in a nod to Charlie in a way, is like the least I can do, right? Is carry him around with me the way that like I was his entire fucking life. So anyway.
And now they are memories, you know, and feelings and how we've grown together. Yeah, absolutely. And I just felt I had all this time to think about it and know what I was going to do. And then in the moment where he's like, and I knew, I was like, oh my God, like he's not standing up. I know what this is. Like, and I panicked. Like I couldn't practically think straight. Aria was trying to help me, and I was like, okay, finally get enough wherewithal. I was like, Aria, go get me a beach towel. We're gonna wrap him up and we're gonna carry him to the car. But it just took me ages to figure out even what to say. And I was shocked by that because I thought I had all this time to prepare myself, you know, and I was just totally floored.
Yeah.
But then a couple of days later, we get him feeling well enough. We make the choice. This is how we're going to handle it. Then I was like back at peace with the way I expected to feel, frankly, not sad, but I was just much more at peace and calmer. So
relief in a way. Yeah. Relief is a strong word, but
it was back to what I was like, how could I have been so unprepared? I thought I was prepared. Why am I panicking? And then I was back
to probably a level of grief and sadness you're unfortunately familiar with. And something that feels like kind of something you know to expect, but
It was, and it's this funny thing now, like even I'm thinking about it now and I have sort of a smile on my face because it's just like, oh, this is what I signed up for in this very poignant way, you know, so, but, so
Sucks.
that landed and I didn't get myself together in time to record last week. And so, but here we are.
And Justin messaged me like, oh no. And I was like, I don't care. Like, those losers can wait for us. We have lives. We have things going on and have had back-to-back family emergencies. I think they'll understand.
Right.
Well, here's to Emerson.
Yeah. And,
you know, a real one.
Families, yes. Ends and beginnings, and as I see it. And, And I also, we still have Ginny. And you know what? That's the other thing is Ginny got to be there.
I was going to ask you,
because we were like, what do we even do? And our vet was on the phone and said, well, there are these services that can come to the house. And we're like, oh, geez, I hadn't thought of that. And I was like, I know you guys got to do something like that, but I think that's because you have a friend who's a vet, right? Or a neighbor or something?
Yes, but like a friend who is, but also does this.
Oh, okay, great. Because we like... I didn't even realize that was a service. I thought this was because you had a special relationship with somebody.
No.
And but I was like, what? Oh, of course. And it like says on their website, like, here's all the reasons this might be right for you. And one of them was like, because, you know, your other pets might not understand. And, you know, they don't have, you can't tell them about it. You know what I mean? They just would never come home. And I was like, oh my God, it was like, instant. It was like, obviously this is what we do. And so Ginny got to be there with me, and in whatever way she's capable, you know, her brain works different, but whatever way she's capable of, she definitely was there and she definitely knew what was going on. And it's interesting but that's really
in
nice
a time of shitty things. It sounds just like I don't think you made any poor choices. Like I think everything was the right selection and like the right option. It's just that nobody wants to have to make those decisions. And
it felt good. And now I just have my memories of, you know, this last summer he didn't chase any balls, right? The summer before, we were throwing balls and we were chasing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, this is the thing. We just have these little declines at the end, and but he was a happy guy up till the end there. We got a good day. So anyway.
Yeah.
And here we are. And there's also been all kinds of real life things that have been going on in the meantime, too.
Here we are on the other side of our traumas. And
so
and
whatever.
what's going on? Like, what else is happening?
What else is happening? There's all these things like that fly by that I was like, I can't wait to talk to Derek about that. And now it's like
I know.
a fucking month ago.
Who cares?
So, I mean, I even made myself a little list so that I wouldn't forget some of this stuff. But
okay,
what's on your list?
Oh, so hit me with a stinger.
Okay, right.
What a vibe shift! Holy
this
shit.
motherfucker right here.
Tone control's back, everybody. Anyway,
read the room, Dustin. Well, yeah.
That's the thing about the tone control. That's not something we do here.
It says random on the button. I don't know.
So, while we were in the NICU, I had to play a gig.
Yeah, and you didn't tell. You were like, you know what? All right, let's fucking do it.
It was our Jimmy Eat World emo night gig.
Yeah,
and which was like really, it's one of those situations where I'm like, hey, Derek, it's okay. Two things can be true. You can be really stressed out about your family and your new son and stuff like that, and also really look forward to this Jimmy Eat World show.
Yeah,
like, you know. So I was so conflicted, and I'm like, what else am I gonna do tonight except fall asleep on the couch?
They let you play a gig in the NICU.
Yeah. Actually, there are people that there's like a bulletin board with community stuff for NICU parents, and that it's the thing that they have like musicians come in and can like play for your baby. There's also professional cuddlers. That's a option for you if like your lifestyle doesn't allow for you to be there as much as you'd like to be.
Oh my God! I'm thinking of
someone to cuddle your baby.
The last night, one of the inevitable conversations where my daughter leaves the room in frustration, going, "I hate school. This is not important to my life." Well, if you study hard, you could be a professional cuddler.
Professional cuddler
someday. Jesus.
So anyway. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, Jack is at home asleep. Beth is at home. Lucas is in the hospital, but the safest place for him to be. What am I going to do? Yeah, like I can't help the hospital. So like, I guess I'll play this gig. I went, and it was obviously very distracted and stuff, but it was still fun and cool. And I think it's a shame that so much of Jimmy World's music is just not as in demand and not as popular as some of the other big names in emo. For the nostalgia crowd, I think it's all your Paramours and Taking Back Sundays and My Chemical Romance, like that stuff. The big,
I mean, they want to hear the middle
from all those years. They want to hear the middle and Sweetness, and there's a bunch of others, but there's also the way more great, truly the great songs.
Yeah.
That no one wants to hear live, which sucks because like they're the best. So
you have to serve it to them. You have to be like, listen, you fuckers.
So that's what we did. We kind of said, here's our set list. Let's open with Sweetness and follow it with the middle, and then it's like, what's it gonna be, motherfuckers? Like, what do you think?
What are you gonna do? Go home?
Yeah. So I don't think they were really deep cuts, but I think they're. Here's a fun story.
Okay.
Before the show, some guy comes up to us and is like, "Oh, are you guys the Jimmy Eat World band?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're going soon." And he's like, "Oh, what are you playing? Like, are you going to do like one from every album? Or are you going to do, because Jimmy Eat World has so many albums now." Mm-hmm. So we're like, "Oh, it's like it's pretty Bleed American heavy, pretty early Jimmy Eat World."
It's bell curved to the middle.
Yeah, right. So some stuff from Futures, some stuff from Chase This Light. That's kind of where like the end of that timeline for us with this show, because we only had a very short set. And then we did one song off of Clarity, the title track, Clarity. And the guy was like, "Oh, are you playing anything off of Clarity? I'm a huge Jimmy Eat World fan." And we're like, "Okay, we are. Stay tuned. Like, we'll see you in there," kind of thing. We get up there and we play the show. And after we play Clarity, I can hear from the other side of the stage this guy asking Matt, Hey, what song was that?
I don't know. Which one do you like?
Which one? And he's like, it was Clarity from Clarity. This guy who's like, I'm a huge Jimmy fan. Are you doing anything from Clarity?
He meant he's huge.
So anyway, I think it was one of those sets that like people in the crowd knew every song, but not every person in the crowd knew every song.
Yeah, okay.
And they're just one of those bands. But man, we did some really fun ones, including, let me grab my set list. I can just share you a bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Playlists, Jimmy Eat World, Big Casino. God.
That's a good tune.
I listened to Big Casino 4,000 times prepping for this show. Did I need to? Because it's a hard song? Nope.
It's a banger.
It's just a fucking great song.
It's so funny. Like in my journey, like I bounced off of that record when it came out. And it took me like years later, like a few years later, to go back and be like, I hit off of this one so hard. Let me go back and listen to it. And I was like, Big Casino, and I was like, you know what? And then you keep listening, and it's like, yeah, I mean, this isn't my favorite Jimmy Eat World record, but I was, I was like in the wrong mood at the time. It was just there was something wrong with me, right at the time. It's what it comes down to.
I've had that happen with music. Yeah, and then we did Work from Futures, Clarity, of course, Let It Happen, also off of Chase This Light.
Right.
And then just ping-ponging between Bleed American and Futures. So a praise chorus, which we've been doing for a little bit in our emo night sets. Really easy song, really fun song. Futures, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. We actually lowered it a half step to put it in drop D. What does that even mean, right? This is some fucked up shit that Jimmy does. So Futures is in drop C sharp tuning with a capo on your second fret, which puts your guitar in drop E flat. So it's lower than standard, but like, right? And that's an annoying thing to do as a guitarist. For me, I find that annoying to like have to have an alternate tuning guitar and capo it. That's like a lot of fiddly, like fine tuning time on stage because I don't want to mess that up. So here comes like the big brain music conversation of like, can we lower it? Because Andy was having a hard time singing it, and we're like doing the math basically. And
what does
landed
it mean?
on like, if we lower it a half step, that's drop D, and I can tune my whole guitar up and play the song lower. And what? So we end up there. It was the easiest like rekeying of a song ever. So really fun riff. And then what else did we do? Get It Faster. The breakdown and Get It Faster. So good. Pain, which we've been doing a while, and then Bleed American. Close with Bleed American because like that song goes fucking hard at the end.
Hell yeah.
I used the Nano Cortex for this gig. It's the first time I've like had that out. And I did the tuning thing. I used it to
transpose.
I did. So Work was the only song that's in drop C sharp, and everything else is in drop D or standard. So it was like really convenient one guitar show for me to just jump between drop D and standard. A lot of times we play C sharp stuff. I just bring another guitar because it's like half the set, and I want to have a properly intonated guitar for that. So I used the pitch block in Nano Cortex to tune me down a half a step. And played, my guitar was tuned to drop D, pedal was tuning me down to drop C sharp for Work, and it sounded great. It worked, you might say.
You might say. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
We're there.
Yeah.
The future's now.
We're there.
And amps are old.
Futures. I've always believed in futures. So anyway, this gig was cool. A lot of fun. And the gear sounded great. I was using this capture of a Fender Deluxe, just really juiced, really hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then put some, what did I have on there? The 1981 in front of that. We were cooking.
Hot Deluxe.
Hotness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking great.
Anyway, that's one of the things that happened here. What's on your list?
Okay. Have you? All right, hold on.
This is ancient.
That was deliberate.
What a weird sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of things, but here's something I've been meaning to say. Have you? The new iOS has this AI DJ thing in the music app.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what this is?
The crossfade thing?
Yeah, the crossfade thing.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with this.
Yeah. I think this was going to be like a thing to discuss, but then the more I use it, the more I either don't notice it or it does a great job. And I'm thinking, this is like pretty okay.
I'm like listening for it a lot of the time still.
Yeah.
And I go back and forth between like playlists and album listening.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm doing album listening, I want it like as intended by the artist.
Doesn't it do that though? Like,
I think it does.
I'm pretty sure if you're just playing an album, it doesn't do any of that.
So I've been using the favorites thing in Apple Music a lot more lately, and I'm just here's my criteria to add something to my favorite list. Does it make me go, oh yes? Then that's it. That's all it takes. It's for me to go like, whoo,
yeah,
a part in a song that makes me like, that's the part.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that it takes. So, when listening to that playlist now, which is quite long now, is I notice it then, and sometimes when it does a good job, it does a fucking great job. And
it's like this is fire,
really good,
yeah.
And then sometimes it just kind of doesn't do it, and
right,
or it gets confused. Maybe that like the tail of one song is longer than like the intro of the next, so it like the fade is not very good.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's very abrupt sometimes, and then other times it just doesn't do it. And I don't know what the criteria is yet, but nor do I care.
Yeah, I'm trying to feel like sometimes when it doesn't do anything, it's just this wasn't gonna work or whatever. But then you'll start to you'll be listening, and the end of the song will start to sort of filter out. Like that's one of its weapons it'll use. It'll sort of do the like things get duller and farther away sounding filter, and then you realize, oh shoot, and then sure enough, downbeat, you're already at verse 1 on the next song. And it's like, okay.
And where it puts you in the next song is an interesting choice too. And sometimes that's when it's like, well, you missed the cool intro riff.
Right. Now it could be...
That was the greatest thing I've ever heard.
It could be something you really wanted to hear, in which case, like maybe it's not, maybe it didn't do a great job, or maybe this isn't something you really want to have. But a lot of times, like when you're just jamming through, plus I think it's probably a little genre dependent too, because like
I think so.
A lot of like just general pop stuff, the intro riff is not the thing, right?
Of course.
They're hitting the hook in the first 30 seconds. If it's hit the hook in the first 30 seconds kind of music, then this is going to be great, I think. And if it's not, then it's like, oh, maybe not. And then sometimes it just doesn't do anything, which I think maybe that's showing restraint. But then just yesterday, before I finally got to say something to you about it, we played, Aria wanted to hear this one song she knew, and I found it and I played it. Now, if you just play a song, not a playlist, not a record, not a shuffle, not a style, I just play a song, at least when I'm in the car, it's just going to loop that song, right? It's going to start it over from the beginning when it ends. Oh. That's what my Apple Music does whenever I just play a song. Okay. And here's the thing. The DJ showed up for that. So we went and played a song. We played Thriller. She came home from school, or she came home from dance, and they must have been playing it and dancing in a few things. She was like, it's like Halloween music. She wanted to hear Thriller. It's a couple of nights ago, I guess. And you know, the end.
You only heard Thriller 300 times by accident.
And Thriller, like, Thriller has this, it's the long intro with all the nonsense. And then the outro just kind of goes on, and they start doing the things and the laughter and stuff. And the AI, like, is going to loop the song. So it basically, the last verse.
Unlimited Thriller.
Just never ended. Like, it started to filter, and he started coming in under himself, and it was bam, it was back there in the downbeat to verse 1. like right there with no breaks. And it was just like, once you get Thriller going, it is the Thriller engine and it's never going to quit. So, and I was like, well, this seems like a obvious bug that they could just like, well, listen, if you're just playing one song, like obviously don't do the DJ to this song, right? But am I wrong? Like, did it?
Yeah, but like at the same time, you're kind of here for that failure because it's really funny and
right. And on the other hand, did it just give me infinite Thriller? In which case, isn't that what I asked for?
Yeah.
Are you not
That's
entertained?
one step closer to like unlimited energy, you know?
Oh my God.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So
nice. I guess like the other gear news we can talk about is this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, this motherfucker. Brand new news, everybody.
Brand new news, everybody.
That one's too long, so it's just going to play one note.
That's fine. So yeah, here's the deal. Before I'm pulling up an email from our pal Alex at Copper Sound. Before Lucas was born, Alex sent me this very cool Foxcatcher V2 to talk about here on the pod. And then my life exploded and we didn't get a chance to do that. So we have it now. I'm not hooked up to play tonight because
reasons and who cares? It's fine.
Like, right. But Alex is going to be joining us on the show soon and I'll be set up for that so we can hear the demos. But I can say for the bit of time I had this into my Rev back here, like just buy it.
To catch more foxes than before. To level up.
Here's the thing. Let me grab my other Foxcatcher. I should clarify the new one is not mine. It's on loan. But this is my original one. Yep. And I think if you're the kind of guy that might want both, you have room in your life for both because they have different enough functions that they are like pretty much two different pedals because they are two different pedals. But so the Foxcatcher V2, first of all, like orientation change, right? It's in a new enclosure. It's in a new format, top jack still, but it's in the kind of standard tall, skinny enclosure instead of a short wide. It is still taking 9 to 18 volts. It's got a cool big ass knob on it for drive, and there's controls for volume and tone. There's also 2 mini toggle switches that let you shape the gain range from low, mid to high. And then a low-end contour shape as well. So you can boost, cut, or leave the EQ flat. Okay. And it fucks, like it's great. It's got this like incredible switch on it that is unlike any other switch I've experienced on a guitar pedal. There is zero play in it. There's no backlash in it before it like moves to engage.
It don't move at all until you click that.
It don't move at all. It's ASMR mode. It's really good. So, like I said, I don't have a sound demo for you right now, but it's because I'm just like working on it still. But it's fucking great, and it's still the Foxcatcher that you already know and love and like, and it's based on the Blues Breaker, and it sounds like really incredible. So you're already starting with this really strong foundation, and I don't know. I think it's a worthy upgrade. If you've been on the fence about whether or not to get a Foxcatcher, consider this new flavor. I think it's really a nice take on the thing. Of course, there's no boost inside anymore, but that's the game you play when you move into a smaller enclosure. So it is
the price you pay for doing your cool moves.
It's going to be out the day that this podcast comes out. No, I'm sorry. It'll be out this Friday. So it'll be out
by the time
this podcast comes out. And you can get it on the website for $249, and it's really good. Like, I don't know. What do I say anymore about good gear? You know, like it's...
Well, we'll be able to discuss more about it. Alex is planning on joining us for the next recording, which will be recording on the 17th to come out the Monday after that. So
here's a little bit of a pivot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's aim to have this giveaway wrapped up so we can listen to those demos with Alex.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
That we could do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I haven't checked how many are in, but if you don't have your police riff contest entries in yet, please get them in. I will
get it in by Sunday, November 16th. And because that's the day before we record.
Right. Or like Monday, give me enough time. Like I'll probably pull them at some point Monday. So
Yeah.
it would be great if they were in by Sunday, so I didn't have to worry about it. But
and we're gonna give away what? We forgot
still
about
haven't
that
fucking
part.
decided. It was supposed to be something police related, right? So
there is there's a JHS 3 series chorus the 3 series is really cool, affordable, everything you need, nothing you don't kind of pedals. A free trip to El Salvador. I don't think we can really swing that, but good idea.
Yep, I like where your head's at.
But yeah, still open to feedback on what you guys would like. I think something chorusy, flangey, delay perhaps might be in that cool
that's the zone. Yep. So we've been circling that idea. I think it's probably going to land there. But if somebody comes up with something really good, please do ping us
Drop
about
it in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and that will be
anything
the
else
deal.
on your list?
Well, okay. So I was going to do this. All right. Okay, that's enough. We're on a schedule here. So a while ago now, way back when, one of Rhett Shull's videos came on that I played.
Okay.
So he was messing with a Nano Cortex, not a Nano. I think it was a Nano, but he had a regular Cortex. I don't know. It was a Cortex. Anyway, it was I can't remember if his has a screen or not. Doesn't matter for the sake of this. So, he had borrowed somebody's particular Marshall amp. It was modified. It was blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, this gives me an opportunity to let's profile it with this thing. And we'll kind of run both of these through their paces. And he's talking, and it gives the impression of the stream of consciousness thing. And I don't know if you're not giving me the impression that you watched this particular video. So I'm just going to
I have not yet.
Keep going. Okay. He's trying them both out. He's just kind of talking about what he's thinking and all this stuff. But the thing that comes up that interested me was this idea of what the inherent value in old real amps that we don't assign to some of this other new stuff. And it's like, why don't we necessarily think that the software is you know what I mean? Why does this big amp still carry this resale value kind of thing?
Oh, because of nostalgia.
Well, okay. Now so this is kind of what I was thinking
exclusively,
too.
But
yeah.
So the thing that he eventually comes around to is like, this is like the upgraded, redone version of what Cortex is doing, right? Like this is...
I'm sorry, say that again?
Like the machine that he's using to profile this is like an upgraded version of stuff that we used to have, right?
Okay,
like
yes.
Models get upgraded, replaced. When Line 6 does the Stadium edition, in a way, it obsoletes the other device. But the other device still does everything that it used to do. It still sounds the same. It doesn't sound worse. So it's like, why is that different? And it's like, well, but
it's the same reason that when the new iPhone comes out, my iPhone from last year looks like a fucking piece of shit.
Garbage piece of glass.
God damn it. This thing is a fossil.
Right? But like a tube amp, a new Marshall comes out and people don't go, the old one doesn't sound as good anymore because this one's more advanced, you know? So it's like that just, I don't know. So I wonder, like, how does that bounce off of you? Because it almost opened something up in me where I was like, I don't know if I necessarily agree, because I do feel like the old software still does sound as good as it ever did.
Of course it did.
But I sort of get it.
Technically, I think, shiny object syndrome, of course. Like, that's part of it, is like there's a new thing that's now more accurate than before, and I bet you can hear it, but I bet you can't. You know, I think there's that conversation, of course. Because in any time, I'm so fucking tired of this, anytime some new modeler comes out of any capacity, it gets run through the ringer of how it sounds compared to everything else.
Yeah.
And like, can you tell which one sounds the best? Like,
when the usability features are the thing you should actually be paying attention to, because the tiny details in how accurate it is not the thing.
Yeah. So, I think there's some like inherent value, intrinsic value with an old amp in that it's survived a long time. Yeah. That's interesting to me. I think it's cool to have it be all like analog, you might say, right? Even if it's got a PCB inside the amp, it's still kind of like a thing. It's a self-contained unit of it does one thing. It amplifies guitar, you know. But I don't know. I think guitar, the Everse is far too nostalgic for its own good. One of the already most dangerous and toxic human emotions there is. And we apply it to something like that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like the accuracy of guitar plastics or something. And here we are in this kind of insufferable state of the hobby or the career or the passion or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
it's like if Cortex absolutely obsoletes Kemper, right? It's like, does it? You know, it's like if you're a Kemper user and it doesn't.
I don't think it's that anymore though, because I think it's more like, I think it's probably more akin to like the Canon, Nikon, Sony conversation. You know, it's just like an ecosystem.
Nikon, Sony conversation.
It's just like, it's a brand loyalty thing.
Okay,
it's all it is. Like, are you a Universal Audio person or a person? And I think most people know that like all of these tools are going to get you where you need to go. It's just a matter of like, which one kind of feels right to you to use, like you're saying, which one kind of feels right under your fingers and stuff, and then use that. That's how I see it. Like, use the one that kind of checks the boxes for you. Yeah. Including a vintage tube amp. Like, if that is checking the boxes, cool. But I don't know. I'm kind of straying from your question, I guess. But I don't know.
It's part of what's going on in what appeared to be where his headspace was, is like this is a particular Marshall, right? So it's something that has mods in it. It has something that's jumped, and this other thing is different, and blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't sound like any other amp already.
Yeah, okay.
So there's also that. So like this particular amp has value. Amps in itself has value, right?
Because like I could get a capture of that amp, and so could everybody else. And does that make it less cool?
Yeah. And this,
I would challenge you to say, like, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it makes it more cool that more people can have access to such a thing.
Right.
But.
And this separates from the conversation, like the software support. Like if a company drops support for a thing, because that is a thing that can happen, and hopefully it doesn't happen with this sort of stuff. But like, it should, at least within its self-contained thing, keep running. At least as far as it does. So I don't know. I don't know. It got me thinking in this way that like I just had this baseline assumption that I don't care sort of about tube amps very much anymore. Like I was like feeling very advanced in I've acclimated to it, and it's like, well, models are fine now. But like,
I think they just do different jobs now. Like they can both exist peacefully. I hate this whole thing of like the underlying presumption that you have to pick. Like you don't.
So
it's just a stupid thing.
And does
I'm
it
not
matter?
saying you're suggesting that, but like I don't know.
What about
having one
value
particular
storage?
thing,
like
as like
selling
a unit
old
of currency
gear.
almost?
Yeah, like so like you're gonna like, well, I'm gonna sell this piece of gear to fund a new purchase. Like your tube amp, if it's something nice, is basically never going to lose value. Whereas if they put out the next model of modeler, and I'm going to sell my old one, it has a lot less value now because it's being directly compared. So that is definitely part of it. At least,
like I agree. A yes and to that is like we're talking about two different economies though. Yeah. Because the tube amp economy is like more of a collector's thing if we're going to like go that direction. And the modeler economy is like obviously much more like getting a new phone every couple of years. Yeah. Or more like getting a new laptop every 5 or 6 years. Like
or a workman's tool, right? If you wanted to be professional about it, right? Yeah. It's like get the new tool. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't expect to get any grand conclusions out of this. It was just sort of an interesting
I just think it's like
angle.
The guitar community always tries to like square peg round hole, this dynamic, right? This thing of there are two ways to make your guitar ladder now, and like we have to pick the one that's better. What are we gonna do? And
because
it's this,
my
like,
identity
stupid thing. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll have to watch that video. I've kind of not watched a lot of guitar YouTube lately, for the past few months or so. Just kind of, again, this whole thing of like getting a little tired of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I brought it up because I think that there was like a morsel in there of like, this is something that this is a way of considering it that just hadn't crossed my mind.
So like, I think it makes the amp, that particular Marshall, it makes it cool, but just because you can capture it and send it to 1 billion people doesn't suddenly make it less cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how it works. Like it doesn't, it doesn't tap its mojo and then it vanishes from existence. So like, who's it hurting, right? Who's it?
Yeah.
What is the exclusivity gained anyone in that case, except mystique and like the dollar value, you know, like that's based on this like,
it's like equipment instead of intellectual dollar value
so,
too.
Yeah. But at the same time, like I can't sell a capture of that amp. That's not a piece. That's not part of the economy.
Yeah. Right. You don't possess the value. You can still use it. Right? There's subtleties here that I think are interesting. I think the whole thing softens me on all sides to the.
I think it's just a chance to say like, look, tube amps were maybe not what we thought they were.
Okay.
And that's fine. Guitar amps are how we did guitar then.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're in this Venn diagram era of both having reasonable space and overlap.
And
right,
and neither
it's not
has
always
to
be
superior.
That way. No, they don't have to be superior, and that's the exhausting part of it.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have thing of the week picks?
Oh, I have a thing of the week. What was it?
I have a thing of the week.
Shit, I had one and I didn't write it down. I was like, I'm gonna remember it because I can't stop like loving this thing, and now I totally fucking forgot.
All right, hold up. There, one bar. Okay. Hopefully you can still try to remember while I talk about this thing. So
okay.
Okay. We played a few weeks ago now. Some of Marielle's friends came over, and we finally got to play this game that they had gotten for her like ages ago. It's called Dialect, and it is basically a card-based imagination RPG that you play with your friends. And it's all about language. Like the story is something you make up, but the rules are all around the language. And you are prompted by cards to make up words, idioms, history for those words, how they relate to the culture, and there's really detailed guidance and instructions, and there's scenarios. So they set you up with various scenarios. We played one where you're like a thieves guild, and you invent this whole story, and you invent characters for yourselves, and the whole time, and then like the next round comes out, and it's like, now you have to create a slang for one of the words you already have, and it's because you don't say that word in front of certain people anymore, and here's why.
Oh, man.
And you have to make it all up.
Oh,
and
God.
It's
okay.
not easy. I think you'd probably be the fucking target audience, is what I was thinking while I was playing it. I was like, this is a fucking Derek game. It's not easy. I find just making up a character off the cuff in an acting sense, like having a conversation with someone else who's playing their own character, I find that really difficult. I really wish I didn't, because I see people who play D&D really well, and I'm like, you guys are amazing. But like, anyway, it was fun. It takes hours. But it was cool, and yeah, so it's like a fancy book and a box of cards. It was really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
My pick of the week is something I've been kind of working with for a little while. I've been using Obsidian, and I know I mentioned this in Discord like months ago at this point, but I'm like converting over a bunch of my like personal like notebooking and planning and journaling and Word documenting or whatever it is into Obsidian, which is a markdown editor. And so I've been kind of trying to like say, I'm gonna try to learn more about Markdown and just like be better at that because it is a more handy thing for a lot of what I do for work and things. It's going gangbusters. Obsidian's great. It's basically just a Markdown editor that you can with, how do I put this? It's really like building your own personal Wikipedia. So you know how in Wikipedia you'll be reading a thing and then words will be highlighted that link to that article. You're building that based on your stuff. And that could be, I started using it a bit, like I really dove in hard with it for my personal use with RPG planning, because you can, instead of having a long scroll Word document or multiple tabs of clunky Word documents or Google Docs, you can have this sort of one pane view and link between articles about
it's all webbed.
The world you're in. It's all right. What's amazing about this is, and a very refreshing thing about this is it's entirely offline. It lives in a folder on my computer, and Obsidian is basically just the viewer of these Markdown files that you can edit and stuff like that. It's, yes, Markdown syntax in Google Docs and Discord and a million other places.
A million other things.
Popping
very
up,
standard.
It's popping up. So it's become this really fun and handy thing for me to just like brain dump so much stuff and organize it in a way that makes sense later, separately. Kind of a nice in-between of digital note-taking and a bullet journals method is kind of where I'm going. Bullet journal being a very deliberately handwritten method. But I just don't, my life is not shaped for many handwritten things anymore,
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
and my handwriting is fucking garbage, and it's getting worse because I don't do it anymore. Like I just don't need that skill. But like, it's been a really handy thing as far as organizing my thoughts and brain waves basically in this time of my life being turned upside down. So I'm using it personally and at work, kind of in two completely separate environments, and it's awesome for both things. Very customizable. If you're familiar with Notion, it's like that. Or Evernote was like an early version of something like this.
Yeah, I think Notion, I actually can't remember if it's Notion or Evernote. Maybe she tried, but Marielle got into, uses, I think it's Notion now, but it's similarly.
Notion's very popular, yeah.
Probably a little less focused, but can do that, basically, just kind of like you end up with this web of things. It's a little more tab and tree based, but yeah, I get the idea.
This has like, it's nice that it's a system like devoid of any standard, right? It's just a blank slate for you to apply rules to as well. So yeah, it's files and folders, but the way you link them and the way you template them and the way you like recall
That's where
them.
the use comes, yeah.
Right. So you can run like a search query in it and have that be a page, and it can just show you like a rolling data view search query and stuff like that.
Right, it's like a rolling filter.
Like, yeah. So you can just dump, like you don't need, gone are the days of a master to-do list. You just put to-dos wherever they fucking end up.
And then I need to-dos. Click, click.
Yeah. Show me all my to-dos categorized by date created or whatever. Yeah. And it can pull that up. And it's just baked in a way to the notes and the linking and stuff that's very organic feeling. And I'm just loving it. So my recommendation is to try out Obsidian if you're like a journaly person or note-taking person or even a tabletop RPG person. Because
it sounds like
let me tell you, DMing with that thing is nuts. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep track of your lore.
So, yeah.
Sweet. All right. We're back in the saddle.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I got to go give my baby a
Let's
bottle.
do it. The baby needs a bottle, and you know what that means? It means push the ending. Oops, I pushed the wrong fucking button. What am I doing here?
We're back, baby.
We're back, and this is how we do it. Okay, here's the real button. Oops, and it says it can't play the fucking file. That's awesome. Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Just put it in post.
It's just put it in post. All right, I'm just going to insert the music later, and in the meantime, guess what? It's time to say we love you and thanks for sticking around and thanks to the patrons, and get your the riff contest things. I want those in by Sunday the 16th at the latest, and we want those to be situated and good. Make something that sounds like the Police, or don't, but be prepared to argue that you did anyway, because I will complain.
Well, yeah, we'll let you on the air.
We'll make fun of you about it if you don't, but we'll still put you in the contest because that's how it works. So patrons, thank you all so much for your support, and it's your fault this sort of stuff gets to happen. And he copied it up. The patrons this week are the Mikealorian, Sordon Gumner, Flick Meetwood, Carson Ricketts,
Perfect.
Matthew Fenselau, Riesenwolf, B-Gow 69420, Grogu D2, Sean Wright of Lollygagger Effects, and I Don't Even Like Guitar, which I'm pretty sure was his name a fucking month ago, so slouch.
Oh, yeah, but... No, I added it, and then we had to cancel a bunch. So,
okay.
This is the first time it's been in the show. So, yeah, we're good.
All right,
anyway.
see you next week, or you know what I mean. See you later, bye. Fuck.
Bye.